When I was with the Army Physical Fitness School at Fort Benning in the 1990s, we had so many soldiers who were load-bearing and coming out of the field with all kinds of problems, and those who have served in that capacity know what kind of damage. Now, this began in the Ranger community. This was at 75th Rangers at Fort Benning, and they had a large number of high bars. So we decided that rather than the table, which would be more difficult, although some of the senior officers and medical folks use the table very efficiently, we decided we would go with inversion boots, because these are all highly trained athletes. And so we developed our protocols, and as part of the Army physical training course, we included inversion in their POI, their period of instruction. So we were actually teaching them how to teach inversion. The other thing about how to use it is, I could recommend this to anyone who buys the inversion boots or the table. Learn all you can about it, and then teach someone else, and you'll see how many details you have. And the more details you have about what you're doing, the more you'll know about it, and the safer your journey will be. And so we taught it that way. Every soldier was expected to be able to instruct a period of instruction on the gravity boots and the inversion teeter boots. The benefits of decompression and mobilization using the boots and the table are so well established, thank goodness, that most people can find this in the literature. Here's what we know for sure, that gravity changes the body at even the cellular level. Gravity is a constant unidirectional force on the human body. And if we can learn how to gently turn the body in space, let gravity fix some of that damage, life gets so much better. I used to tell students, if you take a child, even a newborn, and gently turn them upside down, they'll look you in the eye and smile. And you put them back down again, and they're fine. But if you pick them up and shake them, they're going to cry. It's like that with inversion. You can abuse yourself, or you can refresh yourself. And then it's got to be gentle and slow. Check the balance, do it right, and then practice very slowly. There's no hurry. In fact, it really is the quiet side of fitness if we think about what fitness is. It's a very subtle training, inversion training. When we look at how the head downward brachiation means hanging from the limbs. So if we anchor the limbs and we turn the body head downward, we can begin from the ankles all the way to the head to look at all the little benefits if we do it comfortably. The body has what we might call auto-regulators. They say, here's where I am in space, and here's the pressure I feel, and here's what I have to do to make myself comfortable. We have to find those auto-regulators and kick them back in to use again, so that when you are head downward, it looks just like everywhere else. And that's the joy of inversion. That's why I always recommend starting very slowly. Put the tether on. There's no hurry. Go to an even, a horizontal, and maybe just go 10 degrees at first. Very slowly. And then wait for the benefits. The table itself is just another tool for the toolbox. And the screwdriver only does one thing. The table only does one thing, but it's the only thing that can do that the way it does it. And if you look at all the other pieces of equipment, from a med ball to a kettlebell to a weighted bar, all that stuff, none of it includes decompression of the spine in the head downward position. So there's just no other way to get fit. We all change the way we train over time. And so as we get older, it becomes more important to do this because more and more damage from the compression. So in terms of fitness, yes, prevention when you're young, spatial orientation, athletes, soldiers, children, this is really great to get the body head downward. When you get older, it really becomes important because you really want to keep that balance. That little vestibular system in there, that mechanically deteriorates, and that's our little gyroscope.
The vestibular system, with the help of sensory feedback from the muscles, joints, and sensory receptors in the retina, provide the body with information about motion, equilibrium, and spatial orientation. This system is comprised of the utricle, saccule, and 3 semicircular canals. The utricle and saccule are responsible for the detection of vertical orientation and linear movement. Semicircular canals detect rotational movement. These canals are filled with fluid called endolymph. Information about balance is sent to the brainstem, and there, the information is sorted and sent to the appropriate brain centers. For example, The cerebellum will process balance signals in order to help send information about automatic movements that have been repeated over time, like jugging up a steep wall in midair.
When you turn the head downward, you're helping to stimulate even that little gyroscope in there. Even the brain will settle in the cavity of the skull as we get older. The brain compresses. And we imagine what we'll do to our car engine if it compressed even a fraction of an inch. And the lungs lose their apex, and the organs will tend to shift downward and forward. It's called visceral ptosis. So when you get on the table, even at 10 degrees, you'll see the organs will shift back up. Then there's breathing. When you go head downward, everything begins to work better. The lungs are open. I mean, it's a wonderful experience when you think about all the crud building up in the lower lobe of the lungs, shifting upward, the lymph system, you name it. You know, once again, it's every part of the body is impacted by gravity. If we live in harmony with gravity, we're going to be a lot happier.